Do you ever feel like everyone around you has their life together and you're just kind of lost? Like you're in your 20s supposed to have everything figured out, have a great plan for your life, but you're actually just trying to figure things out day by day? I have totally been there. From high school to college, I had no clue whatsoever what I wanted to do with my life and my future. And it stressed me so much that I ended up with the worst anxiety. But then I learned to let go of control and just trust the timing of life. So if you're in your early 20s or even before that and you're feeling kind of lost, stick around because this video is just for you. Before we go into how I managed to figure out a way on how to let go of control and just go with the flow in life, I want to share my background and my story because I think that it's really important that you guys understand that I didn't have everything figured out for the majority of my life and that I was under so much stress about this topic. Because I have always been like so anxious about my future. When I was in high school, even before that, I used to be a girl that always wanted to get like straight A's in every single subject. And I was like so worried about every single thing. I was so worried about what my profession was gonna look like in the future. What am I gonna be dedicating my life to? Where am I gonna work? What's gonna be my job? All of these things, I used to stress so much about it. And when I was a little kid, I used to have so much anxiety. Then since I was like maybe 10, I started to get anxiety attacks because I couldn't like reach the grades that I wanted to reach. And so that started more or less in school. And then when I got up to high school, it just started to get worse. So in Spain, high school is like really stressing, especially the last 2 years before you get into university. And those 2 years for me were like the worst of it all. I had the most anxiety because I was all the time thinking that I needed to get like the highest grades that I could possibly get in order for me to figure out a way to just build myself a good life. So in my head it was like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I have no clue whatsoever. Need to get like the highest grades possible. And you know, up to high school, I wanted to be just a Hollywood actress. I know it sounds kind of silly, but that's what I wanted to do. It was my dream as a kid, but then I realized it was not for me. Then I went to high school and I realized I didn't know what to do. I got a lot of high grades and then I decided that what I wanted to do was to get into a good university, to just, you know, get a good degree and have a perfect job. Okay, I did that. I went into university with so good grades. And when I started studying there, I was studying marketing and international business, and I realized it was not for me either. So all my plans went down as well. This is what has happened to me all the time. I wanted to be a Hollywood actress, didn't work out. I wanted to be a CEO and, you know, businesswoman at a multinational. It didn't work out as well because I realized it was not the dream that I have always imagined. And when I was at uni, I realized that, okay, this is getting serious. Someday I'm just gonna stop studying and I need to know what I'm gonna do with my life. I just need to get a job or look for a career that aligns with who I am and what I want to do in the future, right? So I just put a lot of effort on getting good grades and just trying to figure out also where I wanted to be in the future. And that's when anxiety and health issues started to appear because the anxiety was so high that I just started to get like really bad stomach pain, severe bloating, back pain, and all of these efforts, anxieties, and physical symptoms that anxiety caused to me was for nothing because I was always just trying to push towards something that I just didn't even know if that was for me. So I just pushed myself to a limit to just kind of be like safe and secured about my future. And let me tell you, that's not the way to do it. Because let's just talk about the reality of your 20s. When you're in your 20s, you're kind of a like trial and error phase. You think that everyone else around you has everything figured out. Their lives are perfect. They know every single step that they have to take towards their dream life and that you should just have everything figured out by now. But let's be honest, do not think that everyone has it figured out because in reality, they don't. The thing that I realized along those years is that everyone that seems to kind of have everything figured out, most of them either unhappy with their lives or they're not in the place that they want to be. They just seem to have everything figured out, but you don't really know what their aspirations are. You don't really know what their plans are in life. So before you think that everyone else around you has everything figured out, just know that you just see the beautiful part of it. People don't really and don't usually just share that ugly ugly part of their lives. And I'm also sure that every single person that has everything figured out, that they know where to go, which step next to take, all those people have gone through a process of uncertainty, of failing, of making mistakes, of not knowing where to go next. They needed to go through that process to then find the right path for them. Just think about it this way. You are only in your 20s. How beautiful it is that you don't really know where you're going, that you're figuring it out along the way, that life is uncertain for you, that you don't really know where you will be in 5 years or in 10 years. Because listen, someday you will look back at where you are now and you will miss those moments of uncertainty. You will miss those moments in which you were broke and you were living with your parents and you didn't know what to do with your life, and you were still studying at university and trying to figure out what to do next. But you will look back and you will remember that you embraced every single moment, even though you felt lost, even though you felt uncertain about the future. All that you will remember is that you were okay, is that you were just figuring it out, that you were embracing every single moment and you were accepting the journey that you needed to explore. And to be really honest with you, it took me a lot of years to actually get this perspective on the future, because I was just a perfectionist. I was a kid that just needed to know every single thing that she was doing, that needed to know what her next step was, and who was worried about tomorrow and didn't ever enjoy the present moment. But in that process of learning, what really helped me and the missing piece was faith. Because in my life, I've had like so many problems in which I just couldn't see a way out of them. I was like so stuck in the problem that I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But you know what? It all turned out good at the end. Now looking back, I know that there was a moment in which that problem or that situation was just going to stop, was going to end, and everything was going to be okay. I thought, to be honest, that I was going to be in that bad place, in that bad situation forever. For example, when I was at university, I started my own social media page. I started a fitness account, and a few months in, I got a really bad back pain and it stopped me from being able to work out. I couldn't do anything at the gym and I was in severe pain for a year and a half. And so all of my dreams just crushed into tiny little pieces. And so I got obsessed over the fact that I had back pain and I couldn't work out, and I just needed to just take a break from the gym, take a break from uploading videos on social media. And the fact that I was obsessing about that only made it worse. It made that process of recovering much longer. But long story short, I ended up healing my back pain, and to my surprise, when all of that situation ended and my back pain was healed, I realized that uploading fitness content was not what was meant for me. But at the beginning of 2024, I found myself in the worst mental health state, and that's when I found God, and He taught me so many things. Faith has been a transformation for me. Now I just see problems and waiting times so much different. Now I just trust divine timing. And when I talk about God, feel free to call it universe for you. I know that a lot of you believe in the universe, and if you feel more comfortable doing that, of course, feel free to do it. I just prefer to just worship the creator rather than the creation. The thing is that all those times in which I was so worried about my future, I felt so lost and I didn't know what step to take. I just couldn't see a way out of it. I wanted something so bad. When I was in that situation of the back pain, I just wanted to be a fitness influencer so bad that it only made it worse. And now I just look back and I know that it was simply not meant for me, or it was not the time for me to get those things. Now I also gotta say that I still don't have everything figured out. I'm still trying to figure out my 20s, but I embrace it. I'm in love with the process. I'm not who I want to be. I'm not my perfect best version, but I'm working on it. And I still have a lot of doubts about my future, about what my career would look like. And I just learned to accept that uncertainty and to trust God's timing. Because listen, I have tried so many things while being at university. I developed my own business. I started dropshipping. I started the fitness account. I started managing influencers' accounts as well. And none of those things actually worked for me. But all of them taught me something. All of them led me to where I am now. If I wouldn't have started dropshipping, I actually wouldn't know anything about how to post content. If I wouldn't have got back pain and being so frustrated with not being a fitness influencer, I wouldn't have learned about patience and faith and embracing trials and problems. Because all of them led me to just create videos and fulfill my purpose on helping other girls to level up about their lives. It was all meant to happen. woman in order to shape me into the woman that I want to be. And I know that you're a perfectionist, want to have everything figured out in mind. It's just not accepting that uncertainty, and it's probably thinking that I'm crazy. And I really get you, because I used to think the same thing. So I want you to do this in every single situation that seems to stop you from achieving what you want, or in every situation that you feel lost. Instead of getting stuck in perfectionism, try to focus on progress. Just ask yourself, are you learning something from the situation? Is the situation helping you to discover what you actually want in life or what you don't want in life? And the answer will probably be yes. And that's amazing, because that is a growth. It's not about having a clear and steady path. It's just picking up those pieces, embracing every single roller coaster that just appears in your life, and building from those pieces. Because this is something that has happened to me so much, and is that we get so caught up on hustling and grinding and just chasing our goals no matter what, that we forget as women to tune into our inner wisdom. And this is something I had to learn the hard way. As I said before, I used to over worry about my future to the point that I got sick, that I thought I had like illness or a physical problem going on in my body, and I was in my masculine energy 24/7. And this is the reason why I wanted to mention feminine energy, because embracing your feminine energy is so important in your 20s, because it is about learning to trust yourself, learning to trust the process. It's about trying to flow with life and not trying to control every single thing. It's to listen to your intuition. So feminine energy in your 20s especially, it's about not forcing you into a strict plan, trying to figure out and just flow with all the problems and trials that life throws at you. Because the moment that I just try to tap into my feminine energy, let go of control, have faith, listening to my intuition, and letting things flow naturally, I just felt much more peace about the future and about uncertainty. And ironically, opportunities just started to actually appear into my life. This is so powerful, because sometimes you just have to stop, let go of control, step back, and let things and opportunities find you and come into your life. And for my overthinking girlies that just want a practical advice to incorporate into their lives, I got you, because I want to help you on how to actually learn to trust the process and not wanting to control every single thing. The first thing that really helped me was to have a clear vision and break my goals into little steps. For example, a few months ago, I caught up myself stressing about social media and about, followers and just videos to post and all of these stuff. So I decided to set a direction. For instance, my goal is 100,000 followers. And now that I know that amount of followers, that it's just a direction or kind of a goal. It could be anything. For example, help 10 girls by the end of the year. And now I just created daily tasks that don't really overwhelm me, and I just try to show up for those tasks. Because when you set like tiny goals and you actually show up and you achieve them and you celebrate them, it reminds you that you're making progress even though the path is not like a straight line. The next thing is so important, and it changed my perspective on the future, and it relieved me from so much anxiety, and it is to celebrate the no's. Because rejection or failure doesn't mean that the world ends. Rejection is protection from God. Every no can lead you to a better yes. And if you can start to see rejection as redirection, it becomes so much easier to just stay positive and trust that something better will come at you, and at the end you will find the right path for you. Another very important thing is to try to limit comparison. And please just understand that social media sometimes it's not what it looks like. This sentence really changed my perspective on social media, and it helped me to not compare myself all the time to people on social media. And it is that don't compare your behind the scenes with other people's highlights. So make it a habit to just trying to accept that the very beautiful life that everyone has on social media is probably not what it seems, and that every single person has the storms that they need to go through. And also, if you need to just block people, unfollow people, or even spend some weeks without social media, just do it. And also, one of the biggest things for me was to understand that God will eventually guide me to where I'm supposed to be. And just verses like, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans not to harm you, but make you prosper, to give you hope and a future," or "God is within her, she will not fall, God will help her at break of day." Or also trusting God with all of your heart and not depend on your own understandings. All of these Bible verses are so true, because they teach you to trust the divine timing and just know that every single thing that you're going through, and every moment of uncertainty, of failure, of feeling lost, it's just all part of the process, that God is just preparing you and that He has something so much greater for you. So what I do with these sentences is just I try to repeat all of those Bible verses to myself and speak those Bible verses in my life, like repeating myself these affirmations, and they have helped me so much. Alright girl, if you've made it this far, I just wanted to say congratulations, because you're about to just embrace life and try to enjoy it a little bit more. And I also wanted to say thank you for listening, and I hope that this video really taught you something, that relieved you from anxiety, and that it gave you hope about the future, and that it also let go of the pressure that you put in yourself to just have everything figured out. So girl, as a closing, I want to say celebrate every single thing that happens into your life. Be patient with yourself and with the journey of life, and keep trusting that you're exactly where you're meant to be, and that your 20s are a beautiful roller coaster that you just have to embrace and know how to navigate through. And if you ever feel lost again, know that you're not alone. We're all trying to figure out our lives. So thank you so much for watching. It'll mean the world to me if you subscribe to my channel, if you like this video, and as always, see you in the next one.